Today, let's delve into a glimpse of a somewhat futuristic film that explores a world where children have intelligent robots instead of cell phones. So, let's dive right in. The movie commences by introducing us to a high-tech event organized by the company Bubble. At the helm of this company is Mark, the ingenious mind behind their latest technological marvel, the Bobot. This remarkable little machine is poised to replace all kinds of mobile devices. The Bobot is a versatile gadget capable of playing music, interactive play, 3D projections, internet connectivity, and even recording your every moment. Its primary selling point is the promise of facilitating new friendships. Our movie's central character is Barney, a young lad like any other, navigating the realm of school life. Yet, unlike his peers, Barney stands out as the only student without a Bobot. Consequently, he's relegated to the role of the classroom loner, with only the teacher as a confidant. At home, we meet Barney's modest father and grandmother, both concerned about his social isolation since he never brings any friends home. One fateful afternoon, Barney's hopes are raised when he discovers an enormous gift, initially believing his father or grandmother had gifted him a Bobot. However, it turns out to be a cruel prank by his friends, mocking him for being the sole outlier without a Bobot. This incident only intensifies Barney's status as the school's nerd. His dad and grandma decide to purchase a Bobot for him. They head to the store, only to find that Bobots are completely sold out. Just when they're about to give up, his father spots a lone Bobot that was never delivered by the delivery person. They purchase it, bringing joy to Barney's heart. The following day, Barney awakens to the realization that he now possesses a Bobot, alleviating his concerns about being labeled the school's nerd. However, his joy is short-lived as he discovers that his Bobot has suffered a fall, rendering it defective. It fails to connect to Bubble's network, which is essential for downloading the code that enables it to understand the world and its functions. Feeling perplexed and disheartened by the malfunction, Barney temporarily leaves the Bobot at home. When Barney returns from school that day, he's astounded to find that his little robot is learning and adapting from scratch through trial and error, almost as if it were a human being. This development deeply saddens Barney, who had initially believed his Bobot was defective. In light of these new developments, Barney resolves to take the Bobot to the company in an attempt to repair it. However, on his way, he encounters the bullies who had previously taunted him for having a malfunctioning robot. Since Barney's Bobot is the only one in the world that hasn't downloaded its code, it lacks any form of security control. So, he decided to intervene forcefully to defend Barney, declaring, "I'm going to protect you." Unsurprisingly, the bullies swiftly retreated, scurrying away like frightened kittens. This incident led Barney to realize that having the only robot in the world without a code wasn't such a bad thing after all. Just at that moment, the police arrived, having been alerted to reports of an aggressive Bobot. Barney reluctantly took his little machine to the store, where the specialists soon recognized it as a highly unusual case. Upon discovering that it had been stolen and illegally purchased, they contemplated sending the little robot to the shredder. However, Barney arrived just in the nick of time and managed to rescue his friend. In the car, Barney made the decision to keep the robot a secret. Realizing that robots were identified by their codes, he decided to name it Ron. Meanwhile, Mark and the manager at Bubble got wind of Ron's actions, particularly the incident involving the altercation with the kids. The manager grew concerned, realizing that nobody would want a robot that harmed children. Consequently, they both came to the conclusion that they had to dispose of Ron. On the other hand, Barney attempted to educate Ron in various aspects of life, from the basics of playing pranks and food preferences to school-related matters and even dressing appropriately. But most importantly, Barney tried to teach Ron how to be a good friend. Back at the Bubble Company, the manager found it impossible to locate Ron since he wasn't connected to the cloud. However, Mark, who had conducted more extensive research, wanted to locate Ron for study, recognizing that this robot possessed a unique personality that others could never replicate. Barney soon realized that Ron was following him, and this brought joy to the boy's heart. For the first time, everyone would know he had a Bobot. However, things took a dark turn when other Bobots, unable to connect to Ron's unique code, began to copy it at the behest of their owner's desires. Consequently, all the robots disabled their security protocols, sparking a Bobot uprising. With no controls in place, the Bobots joined forces to create a super robot. News of the situation spread rapidly, and when Mark learned what was happening with the robots, he developed a patch to stop them. Unfortunately, the robot that triggered the chaos belonged to Barney, leading to his expulsion from school. This turn of events left Barney furious with Ron, who, in turn, understood that Barney was deeply upset. So, Ron made a heart-wrenching decision to send himself back to the factory to spare Barney from further suffering. However, Barney realized just how essential his robot companion was and implored Ron never to leave his side, emphasizing that they were the best of friends. With both the police and the media on the hunt for Ron, Barney decided to run away with his loyal friend to the safety of the forest. In this secluded haven, the two friends reveled in the joys of daytime activities, from playful mud encounters to exhilarating cliff jumps. As night descended, Barney noticed that Ron's battery was running dangerously low. Despite the darkness, Ron, selflessly determined to save energy, decided to sacrifice himself for his best friend's sake. Back at the Bubble Company, the director hatched a plan to utilize other Bobots to spy on children, hoping to locate Ron. It was then that he discovered that Barney had taken Ron to the forest. Using the Bobots, the director attempted to track them down. Barney, aware of the danger Ron faced, tried to evade the Bobots' lasers. However, without his inhaler and weakened, he stumbled, putting his life in jeopardy. The next day, seeing Barney's dire condition, Ron summoned the last of his energy to carry Barney and seek help at his school, rallying several classmates, family members, and a doctor to his aid. While Bubbles personnel initially sought to stop Ron, the company director had a change of heart, realizing that Ron's act of saving a person could boost sales. Consequently, he allowed Ron to go free. Barney was rushed to the hospital, where his classmates, who had once been his friends, waited. It was here that the children collectively recognized that technology, instead of bringing them closer together, had driven them apart. Meanwhile, Mark visited Barney, expressing his appreciation for the friendship they shared. He had reprogrammed Ron, but Barney rejected the new version because it bore no resemblance to his beloved friend. Mark decided to restore Ron's original code but was thwarted when he couldn't access the cloud. It turned out that he had been fired, and Bubbles' director had gained full control. Determined to retrieve Ron's code, Barney and his family infiltrated the Bubble Company. While Barney's dad distracted the executives and his grandmother kept everyone else busy, they managed to gain access to the company's premises. Guided by Mark, Barney ventured further into the facility, eventually reaching the vast server room. However, despite his efforts, he couldn't find Ron's data. Attempting a keyword search, Barney stumbled upon a shocking revelation. Bubbles' director had designed these robots to spy on children. Just as the director became aware of the unfolding situation, he ordered the cloud to be shut down, plunging everything into darkness. As fear began to grip Barney, a sudden beam of light broke through the darkness, revealing his best friend, Ron. Filled with joy, Barney sprinted toward Ron's data, causing the robot to smile at the prospect of reuniting. Meanwhile, Mark pursued Ron's data and came to a profound realization. This robot was genuinely special because it had been uniquely programmed with everything it had learned from Barney. As Barney and his friends celebrated their reunion, Ron noticed that the children were not happy with their Bobots. They were isolating themselves in a harmful way with their robots, and Ron couldn't bear the thought of children being unhappy. He implored Barney to teach all the Bobots how to be good friends. Barney agreed to share Ron's special code with everyone, but when he attempted to connect Ron, he discovered that doing so would erase Ron's code. Reluctantly, he refused to proceed. However, Ron remained resolute in his determination to ensure the children's happiness and insisted that Barney install Ron's version onto the other Bobots. Understanding that it was the best choice for everyone, Barney eventually relented and updated all the Bobots worldwide. Now, every child in the world had access to the special code, allowing them to have genuine, sincere friends. Opposition to these changes came from the Bubble Company's director, who had been solely focused on profits. However, he hadn't anticipated that Mark had recorded him expressing his disdain for children. In the face of this revelation, the director resigned, relinquishing all power over the company. Mark, with a vision to use the Bobots to help children find happiness, took the helm of the company. 3 months later, the Bobots at Barney's school had shed the restrictive rules, allowing for more creativity and fun. The film concluded by showing a lonely boy, as Barney had demonstrated to the world what true friendship meant, even to a robot that had also learned how to befriend his schoolmates. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more interesting movies.